This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by SACL, CAI.
I'm standing here with Rich Angel of Grafton, New Hampshire.
That is correct.
Who moved from Montana in 2007, correct?
That is correct. I like to tell people it's not so much that I moved from Montana, but that I moved to New Hampshire. That is to say, Montana is really not a bad place.
It's not a bad place, but...
Well, yeah, and for example, Montana is such a huge state that getting people to gather for events such as this one...
Liberty events.
Yeah, Liberty events could be a major undertaking. Getting to one of these events can be an all-day project, one way. Wow. Whereas here in New Hampshire, it's for the most part, getting to an event, getting lots of people together to do things, activism, conferences, etc. It's not so difficult.
And of course, right now we're at one such event, the third annual Live Free or Die Festival in Jaffrey, New Hampshire, put on by locals who are very dedicated to liberty.
Right.
But you moved also yourself to New Hampshire for more liberty, didn't you?
That is correct. I moved in summer of 2007, and right now I am I've been a member of Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms, off and on since 2003. And before, I would visit farms if I was crossing the country, and they would be stepping stones along the way, so short visits. Now I'm concentrating more, doing it full time. I've been called a professional woofer. That's the acronym that's used. Willing Workers or Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms, WWOOF.
So basically, you're able to exchange your labor for lodging.
Exactly. Food, mostly food grown right on the farm, which is, believe me, the best way to...
Now, is there a website folks can go to do this kind of thing in New Hampshire?
Yeah, that would be woofusa.org. That's WWOOFusa.org. There's also northeastwoof.org, and there's organicvolunteers.org. Each one of these has a different listings. There's a little bit of overlap, but that would be the casting the net the widest.
Now, what has been the hardest part for you about moving to New Hampshire from Montana? As you said, it's not a bad place.
The hardest part? Dealing with an increase in insect activity, like deer fly. It's funny, what we call deer flies out there, they call horse flies here, and what we call horse flies out west, they call moose flies here. But you've got those, and the black flies and the mosquitoes, generally in higher numbers than. In fact, in Missoula, it was so dry most of the time that you might see one mosquito in the summer, and almost feel sorry for it because it looked like it was lost.
Well, and what's something that's improved in your life since you moved to New Hampshire?
Being among liberty activists, having that camaraderie readily available, knowing that there are people right there to support, back me up, being able to do that for others.
Free Lord! Free Lord!
For example, there are court cases and supporting people in court. One of my favorite things is the Port 411. I just love that. That was an idea. I never would have articulated it that way, but it's just a perfect idea where you can call this number if you're ever pulled over by a cop, or if you ever want to make an announcement about speed trap in a spontaneous event or whatever. You call this number, it's recorded remotely. And this is great if you ever get pulled over, because there are some corrupt cops out there who, if they caught you recording them with a tape recorder, they could just take it away from you and confiscate it, beat you up, and then deny it ever happened. But if you're recording remotely, what are they going to do? See? So that's one aspect that I really like, and just the people is for me the important thing.
What's your take on the split between political and anti-political activism?
Well, it certainly makes things interesting. We do have this commonality in that we basically believe that the maximum role of government, if any, is to protect the.
This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Cycle, CAI, the company that does collections a whole new way. They know that not only do you want your Benjamins back, you also want to keep your customers. Cycle, CAI, they collect with respect.